Hello, everyone, and welcome to Forest Lake High School for CTN's coverage of girls high school basketball. Tonight, the Cardinals taking on the Forest Lake Rangers. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above the action, and Howie, a very exciting, rare opportunity. A doubleheader here tonight. Girls basketball, their second game of the season, and it will be followed by the season opener for the boys.
Yeah, if you can't get enough in one game, you're certainly going to get your fill in two games, so it should be a lot of fun. Then this should be a good contest. Really two evenly matched, similar style teams.
Yeah, Coach Deb Peterson for Coon Rapids talked to her a little bit about what she expected. She said, we're two very similar teams. It's going to be almost like playing against ourselves, and it's really going to come down to which team wants it more, who's going to get away with the victory. Cardinals, of course, got the win over Cambridge Isani in their opener on Tuesday. Forest Lake, a loss against Andover in their season opener, and they're hoping that they can turn things around and even their record here with a home game against the Cardinals.
You know, I think the biggest thing tonight for Coon Rapids is they've got a post presence. Forest Lake does not, so they're going to have to use their post. They're going to have to use their size. We saw Ellie Carver in that win over Cambridge Isani back down her opponent, and she had a dozen points coming in that win. So she's going to be a big cog, a big key here tonight in terms of what they can do underneath the basket.
Well, and the Cardinals definitely want to get Kaylee Porish going a little more than they did in the season opener. Porish doing a lot of things away from the basket, had a great night rebounding, had some big assists as well, but they want to get her scoring. She was their leading scorer last year. Now as a senior, they expect her to really carry the load. On the flip side, Forest Lake probably bigger average size, a taller average basketball team, but they are not going to have the size inside when you talk about Carver and Porish. But they do have Tia Moscatelli, who is going to play both guard and a forward position, a very flexible senior player that's going to lead the way.
Leading scorer for this team last year scored 14 points in that 71-57 loss to Andover. She's a really good player. She can shoot it up, she can light it up, and that's one of the things Coach Pearson talked about. We need to know where she is on the court. We have to guard her well, and we have to take her out of the action.
And as Coach Peterson talked about, it all comes down to desire. Which of these teams wants to win more? We'll find out when we tip off. That's coming up next on CTN.
Hi, I'm Ryan Nagasu, 2010 Olympian and bronze medal winner of the 2014 U.S. Championships. I knew I loved skating at the age of 5, and now it's become my life passion. Find your skating passion at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Classes are available all year round. It could be the place where your skating dreams come true. See you on ice.
Just about ready to get this one underway at Forest Lake High School. The Rangers hosting the Cardinals. Forest Lake looking for their first victory of the season. Coon Rapids trying to start the season with a streak. The big win over Cambridge Isani on Tuesday, but a little bit tougher challenge as they come in here tonight. Here's a look at your starters for the Cardinals. Caitlin Ackerman, Caitlin Hagstrom, Kaylee Porish, Courtney Ackerman, and Ellie Carver. On the flip side, Forest Lake's going to start with Tia Moscatelli, Abby Asperheim, Lexi Holtman, and Kenzie Stumney, along with Abby Leach. And you see they're all listed as guards, but like I said, average height, they probably have a little bit of an advantage. Just about all of them in the 5'8", 5'9" range. And they're going to get the opening possession. Early shot is off the mark for Stumney, but they get the rebound. The shot for three by Leach won't go either. And this time Carver comes down with the ball.
Yeah, again, we're going to see that presence underneath, and really the athleticism will come into play tonight for both of these teams, especially Forest Lake. They like to run the ball. They both want to pressure.
Courtney Ackerman driving, kicks it out. Caitlin Hagstrom for three. A little too much on it, and Carver an early foul for going over the back. Good position on the backside by Abby Leach.
You know, both squads have depth, and I think that'll be tested tonight as well. And certainly Carver with an early personal in this contest, they have to keep an eye on that situation as well.
Well, we talked about that on Tuesday night. A lot of fouls in the first half for Coon Rapids, but really reined it in and played much cleaner basketball in the second half, able to win down the stretch. Leach for three again with the miss. Hagstrom hustles for the rebound, needs some help in the backcourt. We'll get it to Courtney Ackerman. Ackerman, the leading scorer on Tuesday night with 13 points. And she will set the offense in the front court for Coon Rapids. Ackerman driving right side of the lane and dragged the foot a little bit. Turnover on the travel.
Well, we talked about Tia Moscatelli, and keep an eye on her because, she's dangerous from the perimeter, and, she's very athletic as well. They'll try and work the ball to her as much as they can.
Asperheim kicks it out. Bartlett thought about the three, and now they'll find Asperheim for three from the left wing. That won't go. Hagstrom bumped off the ball, and that'll be a foul against Allie Bartlett.
You can see both teams being aggressive, going after those loose balls, and you're going to see some contact here tonight, and we'll see how closely the officials will call. Just so far, a personal foul on each squad.
A lot of pressure in the backcourt on the inbound. Porish has to come back and help out. Hagstrom flips it back to Porish. Porish got it across. Caitlin Ackerman on the floor with three Rangers players. Ball tied up. It'll be Coon Rapids basketball. A lot of hustle on defense early on for the Rangers.
Well, you can see how aggressive they're going to be early on here, and they're going to give Coon Rapids as much trouble as they possibly can.
Hagstrom high on the left side, looking for a pass, but not finding much. Cross court to Caitlin Ackerman, and now down low. Inside, Porish, turn shot, won't go. Tipped right back to her. She'll spin, and this time she'll score.
Well, you talked about Kaylee Porish in the opening, Joe, and just 6 points against Cambridge, and you mentioned the other things she did, but they are definitely going to look for her scoring tonight, averaging almost 16 points a game last season.
Bartlett puts it on the floor, now kicks it back out for Asperheim. Into the lane, kicks it out, and Stumney, the three-pointer. That won't fall. Flying in for the rebound. And Stumney misses inside. It was a great rebound by Moscatelli and a good feed, but Stumney hit the back iron, and now Porish trapped, and it's tied up by the hands of Allie Bartlett, and that'll be essentially a steal for Forest Lake.
Yeah, the Rangers tie him up right in front of their bench. And again, you talk about quick hands, you talk about pressure, and that's what Forest Lake wants to come out here and do this evening.
They are definitely moving their feet and putting a lot of pressure on the ball. Stumney for three again will come up short, or Leach rather. And out of bounds to the Cardinals.
The
Cardinals. A lot of three-point attempts already early on for Forest Lake.
Yeah, I mean, you can see pressure early on, and Coon Rapids is going to have to figure out a way to loosen up that pressure and get the ball down court. And they're going to have to call timeout here if they're going to.
They would have, but they didn't. And it's a turnover because they couldn't get it in. 5-second violation.
That's all good pressure by the Rangers.
Moscatelli into Leach. And now Asperheim will put it on the floor, kicks it out. Bartlett back out. Asperheim cross. Moscatelli, a lot of room for the three, and she nails it.
You can see why they like her and why they go to her. She's a good shooter. Nice range from beyond the arc. Forest Lake with a 3-2 lead.
Hagstrom gets it past the double team and gets it right back into the front court. And that is snatched away by Bartlett. Moscatelli into the middle. Leach uses the left hand and scoops it in. A quick 5 points for the Rangers.
Oh, nice job. A little fake to one side and then the little hook to the other for the basket.
She's their only 6-footer. She's just a sophomore. But you can see the confidence she plays with. And she's going to be called for the foul now. Again, very aggressive on defense are the Rangers coming out early. And this time Leach called for the foul. Coon Rapids going to make some subs. They'll bring in Destiny Artis, Kennedy Kerr, and Nicole Frazier. Go a little bit smaller lineup. Caitlin Ackerman taking it right at the defense and then battling for her own rebound. She gets it. Still battling, tried to get it to Kerr, stolen away by Moscatelli.
And good job staying in the lanes, and nice steal from Moscatelli.
Stumney ripped away by Artis.
We talked about Destiny Artis in that first game, and she's a hustler. She likes to get in there. She's quick, and she's gonna give the Rangers a lot of trouble. here tonight.
Yeah, you didn't see it if you just looked at the box score,
Nope.
but she was definitely a contributor last night. Spoke with Coach Peterson about it after the game and then again before tonight's contest, and just how much she hustles and how much of an impact that has on the contest. Moscatelli going up, getting the rebound, drawing a foul. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Going to call him Frazier, I believe.
You are correct. And an early timeout for Coon Rapids.
Their defense is giving the Cardinals trouble here early on, and they've certainly need to find a way to alleviate some of those issues. And Coach Peterson, as you mentioned, calling that early timeout, trying to maybe see if she can make some adjustments on the court. Make sure you check us out on Facebook if you haven't done so already. Make sure you like us and take a look at the pictures. You may find yourself, tag people if you know who they are. Head coach Debbie Peterson.
So Moscatelli to shoot 2, her team leading 5-2 early here in this first half. She makes the first, nothing but net. Second one is off the back of the iron. Kerr with the rebound. Caitlin Ackerman had it blocked away out of bounds by Kenzie Stumney.
Yeah, Stumney did a nice job of coming back and getting a piece of that basketball without any pressure.
This one's going to be a foul.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to call that one. It's going to go against Groenweg.
Third personal. Yep. Great minds think alike.
Correct. And sometimes average minds do too.
As well.
Artis with an open look from 17, and she hits it.
And that's a great contribution from her, because we talked about her hustle defensively, but nice to get a little offense mixed in with that as well. 6'4".
Little pump fake for Holtman. And now Groeneweg. Moscatelli for 3, and she hit another.
Yeah, she doesn't need much space to drop that.
She's got 7 of their 9. And it good. Again, a lot of pressure from Forest Lake, but another foul. It's one of those live by the sword, die by the sword type things. But yeah, they bring a lot of pressure and make it difficult to even get the ball inbounds. It's already led to 1 5-second violation.
That foul was on Abby Leach. That's 2.
Cardinals able to pass through the pressure. Artis slows it up. Frazier for 3. She hit it.
Yeah, nice job. She was able to spot up, saw her shot, saw the opening. 9-7, Forest Lake.
Holtman slowly across midcourt, met by Courtney Ackerman. Leaves it off right side for Stumney. She'll take the 3 off the glass and in.
Did she call that one? Did she call glass?
Maybe. Moscatelli challenging the pass. It's out of bounds off the Rangers.
Carver back in. Van Bergen in for Forest Lake. Grace Van Bergen.
Inbound goes to Caitlin Ackerman. She'll turn to face up. And we'll take it to the lane, kick it out to her sister Courtney. Courtney from the right side. Up top to Artis. Destiny Artis will take it on the dribble. Hand it off to Frazier, back to Courtney Ackerman. And now Artis. She'll get to the lane, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. Grace Van Bergen, fresh into the game, as you mentioned, picking up a quick foul. That's going to be number 5 already.
Well, again, the hustle of Destiny Artis, the move to the basket, and the contact allowing her to get to the stripe.
Artis able to hit the first. Lexi West checking in. I'm not sure what. Frazier had something in her hair that official said you can't have that. Had to go get sub for. Artis able to hit both. Good drive on the right side of the lane by Holtman for the basket.
Yeah, Coach Peterson, I'm sure doesn't like that defensive effort from her squad. Allowed her to drive the lane, get the easy hoop. 14-9, Forest Lake.
And now with 5 fouls, a little less pressure in the backcourt, and Coon Rapids mishandled it, and it leads to a turnover on the tie-up. Kaylee Porish going to check back in now. Five-point lead for Forest Lake as they bring it into the front court with Lexi Holtman. Right side, Van Bergen. She'll take the long two. West the long rebound. And she'll quickly move into the front court. Porish from the corner for 3. A little too much on it. Should have been an easy rebound for Van Bergen, but Destiny Artis, good hustle play. At least challenges, bats it away out of bounds.
Yeah, got a hand in. And you know, one of the things Coach Peterson was talking about to me is communication with her squad, and she really needs her team to do a good job of communicating here tonight. So they lacked a little bit of that in their win over Cambridge.
Johnson's shot won't fall. West the rebound for Coon Rapids. She'll bring it across midcourt. Trying to get it inside, and that one's stolen away. Holtman on the run. Stops up. Her shot won't fall. The rebound by Courtney Ackerman. Surrounded by maroon jerseys. Needs some help in the backcourt. And she's forced to travel. Coon Rapids fans thought there might have been a little bit of contact there. Draw a foul, and they won't get it. It's another turnover to the Rangers.
Well, you have to be impressed with Forest Lake's hustle on the defensive end, and the pressure that they're putting the Cardinals under. Defensive end, offensive end pressure.
Holtman for 3. That's off the mark. Artis the long rebound, and now we'll slow things down and get the Cardinals into the offensive end. Working against Holtman, left side, backs out. Now looks again and had the ball stripped by Johnson. And Artis hustles to tie it back up and keep possession for Coon Rapids.
The Rangers do a nice job of going after the basketball and tying things up. You know, we talked about depth, and both squads are going to play a number of players, probably both go 10 deep each.
Caitlin Ackerman high on the left side to Caitlin Hagstrom, inside to Porish, turns, comes up short, gets her own rebound. And missed that one too. Rangers with the ball. Moscatelli to the far end. Slow it down, hand it off for Bartlett. They swing it around right side. Driving into the lane is Van Bergen. Little pump fake by Bartlett. Lost it, got it back. Moscatelli. And now right side for Asperheim. She'll put it on the floor. Draw the double team. Moscatelli now inside. Kicks it out. Asperheim from 17. That rolls over the top. Moscatelli there for the rebound. Blocked away. Another chance, this one in and out, and Ellie Carver gets the rebound.
That time Ellie did a nice job using her size, getting that rebound.
Open look for Kaylee Porish at the other end, put a little too much on it. And Van Bergen has it off the backside. Moscatelli ahead for Greneweg. She draws the foul and will get to the line to shoot 2.
They'll call this one on Destiny Artist. That'll be the Cardinals' 3rd team foul.
And 2 of their 3 have sent Rangers to the free throw line. Moscatelli only able to hit 1 of 2. And we'll see now if Greneweg able to convert. She hits the first. And she does hit them both. A 16-9 lead with just over 10 minutes to play here in the first half.
you know, and they're lost to Andover. Andover, a very good team. Coach Wagner, and get a turnover there. Coach Wagner said the game really wasn't as lopsided as the score would indicate. Her biggest issue was a lot of foul situations for Andover. And they were 16 of 18 from the line.
Asperheim, right side for Van Bergen, into the corner. Van Bergen gets it back now, Asperheim. Left side for Moscatelli. Underneath, tried to go to the middle, tipped away. Porish can't control, Moscatelli can, and she'll reset the offense. Long three-pointer for Van Bergen comes up short. Carver gets tied up underneath by Bartlett, and it'll be Ranger basketball.
Yeah, just quick hands getting involved for the Rangers, and every time a Cardinal has a basketball in their hands, they do a good job of tying it up.
Well, and bringing bodies to the ball.
Right.
There's almost rarely is there a single team. That's out of bounds off of Leach on the backside, so Coon Rapids gets it on the turnover. The shot by Moscatelli missed everything.
You'll continue to see pressure by the Rangers. They do such a nice job of it.
And for the second time, a 5-second violation as the Cardinals can't get the ball inbounded. Stumney quickly sends it in to Bartlett. Bartlett pressured by Porish, gets it back. That one nearly turned over, but Forest Lake able to regain control. Van Bergen underneath, and that pass, or Bartlett rather, and that pass was behind Asperheim, and a turnover back to the Cardinals.
Coon Rapids trying to give a little pressure of their own there and forcing that turnover.
Inbound goes to Caitlin Ackerman. Ackerman trying to find her way to the lane, lost the handle. Moscatelli recovers for Forest Lake. Asperheim to the front court, hands off. A little pump by Stumney, and long three by Moscatelli is good. Her third already.
Yeah, again, we talked about her in the opening, and when she gets hot, she finds her range, and she has here so far tonight.
Out of bounds, Cardinal basketball, and again, good pressure on defense this time by Kenzie Stumney.
And that three pushes the lead to 10.
Hagstrom working against Moscatelli in the backcourt, will get across, but still pressured along the side. Hanneman misses in close, and Forest Lake able to recover off the rebound.
Yeah, good look for Hanneman as well. It looked like a carry to me.
Wow, how do you not call that?
Everyone in the house saw the carry.
Yikes. Rebound, only one there is Moscatelli. She thought about a three, and then her pass tipped away in front of Greneweg. That one is good. It's a long two, though, for Kenzie Stumney.
Yeah, that's got to frustrate Coach Peterson. I mean, that should have been a turnover. Forest Lake ends up a bucket for the Rangers.
Nine unanswered points for Forest Lake, an 11-point lead. Shot by Courtney Ackerman, deflected out of bounds, and Coon Rapids will keep the basketball.
With this 11-point lead, Cardinals want to be smart offensively, and they don't want to force anything.
Not to correct you, but 21 minus 9 is 12.
Well, not when I went to high school, but they've added things since then.
Again, getting hands into passing lanes, making it difficult for Coon Rapids to do what sometimes is the most simple act of the game, and that's just getting the basketball into play. They have to go up top. And now Caitlin Ackerman facing up against Greneweg. Right side, Frazier will bring it back to the top. Pressured all the way by Stumney. Tried to get it underneath. It's tipped away, and another steal for Forest Lake. Thanks to the pressure defense, Moscatelli, other end, kicks it back. Stumney will take the three, and she'll hit it.
Yeah, they've been very successful from beyond the arc, and they've opened up this 24-9 lead, and you can understand, you know, once you find that range, a couple of Ranger players being able to hit that Coach Peterson going to take a timeout and talk about things with 7:25 remaining in the half.
Well, 12 straight points for Forest Lake, 15-3. Since it was a 2-point game back at 9-7.
I'll make sure you catch us Monday night. We're going to do the winter preview show on Sports Night. Fastest half hour on cable television.
And it will be a very
quick.
fast
Yeah,
half hour.
We're going to have to do double timing.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to jam in. Of course, we had been hoping to get it put together earlier this week and just didn't have the time in the schedule to get it done. And so now what we have is a semi-preview.
Yeah.
We'll do the preview pieces, but both basketball teams obviously getting their seasons going
Correct.
this week. Boys hockey had started last weekend. They've got a couple more games that we'll be talking about from Tuesday and Thursday this week. Same with girls hockey, a couple more games this week. So it will be true preview, though, still for a couple of programs as wrestling and gymnastics get started, I believe, next Thursday and Friday. Swimming also getting their first action of the season at the end of next week. I don't believe I guarantee we won't have a preview for the boys swim and dive team yet for next week's show, but we hope to find some time to visit with them next week.
I'm sure we will.
Have
There's
it
an
for you
over
the
and back.
following week, and then of course, so after the foul, the Cardinals turn it right back over. But the ski teams, Alpine doesn't start until the end of the month. Nordic is supposed to start next week. That's just not going to happen.
No, you need a little snow out there.
Well, and even if you make snow, you need it to be cold that the snow will stay.
It's definitely going to be cold. There's no question about that, but I just don't think we're going to get the snow quite yet.
Step-up jumper is just a bit short. Rebound out of bounds to the Cardinals. Good effort by Greneweg to get position and get her hands on the ball, but couldn't come down cleanly with it. Inbound goes to Frazier. Quick double team. She gets it to Kerr. Kerr running up floor. Cardinals with the numbers. Long jumper won't go for Caitlin Ackerman. Courtney Ackerman had the rebound off the backside. Knocked away out of bounds by Moscatelli. It'll be Coon Rapids basketball.
You know, we saw the Cardinals go into a little bit of a scoring drought against Cambridge, and it wasn't due to the pressure that Forest Lake is putting on. They're having issues scoring points here tonight. Just 9 so far.
Pass was taken away by Stumney. Caitlin Ackerman did a nice job of getting back on defense and disrupting it, but Forest Lake able to set up in the offensive end. Stumney from the right corner hits another three. She's got the last 8 points for the Rangers.
Yeah, and they've done a nice job of opening this lead. And another turnover by the Cardinals.
$15 straight points and an 18-point lead for Forest Lake. Holtman at the top, right side for Moscatelli. Back to Holtman. And now Moscatelli will put it on the floor. Stumney drives baseline over Porish. Courtney Ackerman the rebound. Trying to get around the pressure from Stumney into the front court and does. Artist to Porish for three. It's good. And boy, did Coon Rapids need that basket.
They certainly do it, and they need Kaylee Porish to get involved in this game as well, because now they're down big.
3-point by Holtman, looking for the answer. Rebound was good by Greneweg, and her shot won't go. Moscatelli underneath can't get it to fall, and getting the rebound is Porish. Pressure disrupted. Bodies flying all over, but no whistles blowing. The ball ends up out of play. It'll stay with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, they're being aggressive quite obviously, but nothing called there. There was definitely some contact. But
you think?
The officials did decide to keep the whistles silent.
I've seen hockey games with less physical play. That's good defense right there from Lindsey Johnson, just getting a hand in the passing lane and knowing the Cardinals trying to inbound over the top to their tallest player. Unbelievable.
How do you not call that?
And the whole Cardinal bench came off the top. I don't know much about the game of basketball, but I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't get mugged. Is that what you're saying?
And a travel, but that's okay. Moscatelli has it with her now. Stumney and Aspinall will hit the three.
You know, I understand sometimes letting them play, but physical contact and traveling with the basketball, you got to call those things.
Well, and that would have been foul number 7 and put Coon Rapids into the bonus. And I mean, it was clear as day. I don't understand how you miss the body check that took Porish to the floor. even if the Forest Lake player has fallen, if her falling takes her into the body of an opposing player, that's a foul.
Absolutely.
Okay,
no
so
question.
that one wasn't called. And then you got Artis with the ball. Was it Artis who then turned?
Yep.
And just the hand of Asperheim was inside her elbow, and I mean, and then the walk. I'm trying not to be too critical, but when you see it just continue, it's a head shaker.
Yeah, it's
Courtney Ackerman missing the front end. Moscatelli the rebound.
when you have 3 officials on the floor, somebody's got to see something like that.
Forest Lake moving the ball well on offense. Nice shot, finding room for the shot by Grenaweg, and she hits it.
Leads now 20. Yeah, you know, you have to be impressed with what Forest Lake is doing outside of the contact.
And I don't know that even with the foul, the fouls being called, I don't think that changes a lot.
No,
but it does. It certainly would help as far as slowing some momentum, possibly. And you're talking about fouls that might lead to more players having to spend more time on the bench come the end of the second half. And then it does become
and also more opportunities from the charity stripe as well.
Right. Foul called this time on Moscatelli. Will put Artis at the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1. The rebound controlled by Van Bergen. Asperheim into the front court. Left side, and a travel by Allie Bartlett.
Took that little bit of an extra step. 3:22 remaining in the opening half, and Cardinals looking to dig out of a 20-point hole.
Destiny Artis into the front court for the Cardinals. 3:15 remaining first half. As you mentioned, a 20-point lead for Forest Lake. Courtney passes to Caitlin Ackerman. Caitlin Hagstrom on the baseline, comes up just short. Rebound controlled by Bartlett, or Van Bergen rather. Van Bergen ahead to Asperheim. She gets it back to Van Bergen. Right side for Johnson. And they swing it around to the near corner for Allie Bartlett. Back up top for Asperheim. Bartlett for 3. That's off the mark. Ball loose, scramble on the floor, tied up. Possession arrow favors Coon Rapids.
Yeah, you see the good job by the Cardinals defensively, just getting that tie up. But again, continued pressure by the Rangers. The Cardinals need to figure out a way to break that. Forest Lake backing off a little bit now.
Artis able to get into the front court, working against Asperheim. And see, that probably could have been called a charge.
Yeah.
So it's not all one-sided.
No, there's no question
and
about that.
There was contact,
Yep.
and Artis will go back to the free throw line to shoot another 1-and-1.
Again, these are the opportunities for Coon Rapids. You have to make them count when you get to the line.
Allie Bartlett called for the infraction. That'll be her second. Able to hit the first, and she earns the second. It's number 9, so any more fouls here in the first are going to lead to a double bonus.
That's the one area Coon Rapids in this first half been staying out of foul trouble. Just 3. She hits them both.
Asperheim goes back door to Greneweg, and then a travel by Bartlett will turn it back over to the Cardinals.
Now these are situations Cardinals need to make count. When they get those turnovers by Forest Lake, they have to be able to convert those into points.
Courtney Ackerman working against Holtman. Looking for room on the right side of the lane. The pass off of Asperheim out of bounds. Opened up Destiny Artis in the left corner. Just couldn't get the basketball to her.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Ellie Carver, and this lead takes her out of the contest. Looking for more, maybe a little smaller, quicker lineup.
West finds some room on the baseline. Her shot is off. Caitlin Ackerman got the rebound, draws the foul, and gets to the line to shoot 2.
Foul is on 24, Allie Bartlett. Caitlin Ackerman.
A little too much on the first attempt. Moscatelli will check back in. That was number 3 on Allie Bartlett. So she is taking a seat. Ackerman able to hit 1 of 2. Numbers down court, and no chance to stop that one. Greneweg, an easy basket underneath.
Now the Rangers did a really nice job of breaking the press, breaking the pressure for the bucket. As you mentioned, pretty easy 2 points for Forest Lake.
Courtney Ackerman working against Moscatelli. Moscatelli able to tip it away out of bounds.
Kennedy Kerr back into the lineup for the Cardinals.
Behind the defense is Holtman on the run. Her shot won't go. Greneweg can't get the follow to go. Caitlin Ackerman travels as she fell to the floor after getting the rebound. Inbound goes up top. Holtman kicks it back out. Stumney will take the long jumper. It won't go. Greneweg the rebound. Kerr can't get in to get that steal. The shot is just short for Van Bergen. Cardinals get it. Kerr behind the defense, and Kerr will stop up and hit the basket.
Nice job. Let the pressure get past her, and she was able to get the basket. Nice outlet from Ackerman.
Under a minute remaining in this first half. Big lead for Forest Lake. And now Lexi West can be called for the foul, reaching in. Oh, no.
No.
It's going to be called on Moscatelli. That'll be her. I thought it was her third, only her second.
Second, yeah.
So it'll send Lexi West to the line to shoot 2.
Well, and I think Courtney Ackerman got away with one just before that. A little contact there, but they didn't call anything.
No blood, no foul. What?
Yeah, apparently.
West's first off the rim and out. And not able to make that one either. Great battle by Caitlin Ackerman. Gets it back to Lexi West. West driving, and that won't fall either. Got her own rebound. Back out to Artis. Courtney Ackerman down to 20 seconds left in this first half. West to Artis. Artis drives off the glass and in.
Yeah, nice little quick move to the inside and then a little floater up. Oh, great job by Kerr.
Gets the steal, cannot get the basket, and the buzzer will sound and take us to half. A big lead for Forest Lake. They're up 34-19 as we reach the break. We'll take a break and be back with first half stats and highlights after this. You're watching girls high school basketball on CTN.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today.
The girls basketball contest.
We need to get
here
those
in Forest Lake. As the Rangers have a big lead over Coon Rapids, 34-19. They did the big damage from outside. Several three-pointers in this one. Moscatelli had 3, and then a couple from Stumney as well. Asperheim added another, so the long range has definitely benefited the Forest Lake Rangers. Destiny Artis, a nice start for Coon Rapids. She's leading the Cardinals with 8 points as we reach the half, but down 15 at the break. It's really, while the three-point shooting has been key to the success of the Forest Lake Rangers through the first half, it's their defensive pressure that has really turned the tide and kept them out front. They went on a huge run thanks to defense, forcing turnovers. They forced a couple of 5-second violations, and they just pressured the ball so very well, and then able to find some open room to hit those three-pointers.
Well, yeah, no question about points off pressure really helped Forest Lake, and I thought they did a really nice job. Cardinals were having a difficult time finding out how to get that ball and bring it back down court, and I think that's some of the things that Coach Peterson will talk about at the break. We need to find a better way to get that ball down court, take some of that pressure off, and I think, as you talked about in the beginning of the game, get Porsche a little more involved, see if they can get some of their big players in, but they've got a big deficit right now.
Yeah, and Kaylee Porsche had their first points.
Yep.
And then she had finished with 5 in the but Ellie Carver not on the score sheet yet. But the other thing was, Coach Peterson talked about it's going to be which team wants it more. In the first half, Forest Lake clearly wanted it more than did Coon Rapids.
Yeah, and I think that pressure and that big lead took Ellie Carver out of the game, and it took really the Cardinals away from what they wanted to do when they started this contest. So they'll have to regroup, think about what they want to do, and come back here and try and get it, cut down on this big lead.
Yeah, they will need to come out and do something early in that half to make it a game down the stretch. It's Forest Lake 34, Coon Rapids 19 at the half. We'll be back with the second half tip-off after this on CTN.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Back at Forest Lake High School, the Rangers a 34-19 lead over Coon Rapids to start the second half. And they will start with the basketball.
Well, Forest Lake will come out here in the second half and continue to do what they were doing in the first half and try and continue to build that lead. They'll continue to be aggressive and play their style.
Jumper from the lane by Stumney is good. She leads all scorers with 13. And again, we see that full court pressure really troubling the Cardinals right off the get-go.
It's been successful for them all game long so far, and they're going to continue it.
Porras trying to force it, taken away by Stumney. Stumney on the run, able to get back across, and she's fouled. And we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Hit the floor hard, but smile coming up.
First comes up short.
Take another look at that. Yeah, she did. Did hit the floor hard, but big smile on her face.
It was a little scary because it looked like her head snapped back and hit the floor, but did not appear phased.
Coach Pearson not happy with the start by her squad here.
Well, a timeout actually called by Forest Lake.
I know, but I could see it the way she took the whiteboard out. Animated.
Yeah, your first couple of possessions coming out of the half, you want things to run a little smoother, and you expect your leaders to not force passes. But you have to give a lot of credit and be really impressed by the way Forest Lake plays defense.
No question.
They are fast. They are hustling. They are getting their hands in lanes. It did lead to a lot of fouls in the first half, and the Cardinals would like to take advantage of that, but at the same time, they need to be able to battle through it and put some points up at the other end.
Yeah, there's no question. They need stops on defense and points on offense, no question about it.
Caitlin Hagstrom with it, high on the left side. Will bring it back up top, watched by Moscatelli. Nearly had it stripped by Asperheim. Asperheim's defense did disrupt things enough to force the turnover. Leach at the other end comes up short. Rebound kicked out to Asperheim for 3, missed everything, and it's out of bounds. Turnover to Coon Rapids. You need 4 bodies moving when you have that much pressure. Every white jersey has to be moving to avoid those 5-second violations. Carver jumper won't fall. Hagstrom can't get to it. Controlled by Bartlett and brought up court by Moscatelli. Leach from the left side will take the 3, and she hits it. 21-point lead.
Yeah, and we saw that in the first half where they've been shooting well from outside the arc, and they continue to do that here in the second half to build this lead.
It's their 8th three-pointer.
Yeah, they're impressive tonight. They're playing a good game.
And that pass right through the wickets on Carver, out of bounds, and turnover to Forest Lake. Asperheim into the front court, hands off to Moscatelli. Watched by Courtney Ackerman, right side. 3-pointer for Stumney is good.
Yeah, and they do a nice job of working the ball around the perimeter and again, getting those good looks. They're not really challenged on that 3-point attempt.
Yeah,
they've picked up where they left off here in the second half.
9 unanswered points to spread that lead to 24, and a foul is going to be called against Abby Leach.
That'll be her 3rd. Of course, there's a section opponent too, so they're getting an opportunity to see a section opponent early on.
Tied up by Stumney. Ball will stay with Coon Rapids. Wow, wholesale
Wholesale,
change
yeah.
for Forest Lake. Don't see that very often.
Nope.
Line change. Caitlin Ackerman in the corner. Up top, Porish able to recover.
Almost lost that. Kicked the ball a little bit, but able to bring it in.
Hagstrom, little pick and roll. Porish long 2 off the glass and in.
First points of the second half for Coon Rapids.
That would be a long 2, but it won't fall. Porish the rebound, and then she's going to be fouled by Lindsey Johnson coming in late.
Yeah, Johnson trying to go for that basketball, gets a piece of her. That'll be her second.
Courtney Ackerman taking her time, getting to the front court. Now Porish with it against Johnson. Hagstrom from the free throw line. That's a little bit off the mark. Carver there to get the rebound and the follow.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking from Ellie, is just that, get that presence underneath the basket, able to clean up the miss.
Holtman hands off. Maddie Rice inside. Johnson spinning jumper won't go. Porish the rebound. Pass a little too tall for Hagstrom, and Johnson there to recover. And the Rangers right back on the offensive end. Lexi Holtman working her way to the lane, drawing some contact. Bucket won't count. The foul called before the shot.
Courtney Ackerman called for the foul. Second team foul on the Cardinals, both Forest Lake and Coon Rapids, 2 team fouls here in the second half. We saw the Rangers getting a lot of foul trouble in that first half. Didn't seem to bother them.
Ball tipped away out of bounds. It stays with Forest Lake. Johnson up top, right side for Rice. Back to Johnson. And now Rice has it. Rice moving left. Back up top, Van Bergen spins away, pulls up for 3. That's short. Porish the rebound.
Well, she did a nice job spinning away and creating some space for herself. Just couldn't get that one to drop.
Well, miscommunication and an easy breakaway for Maddie Rice, and she converts at the other end. And again, pressure getting hands in lanes. Leads to turnovers. 3-pointer at the other end is off the mark. Carver can't control the rebound. Porish can. Johnson steals it away, but out of bounds. And we're going to see Hanneman and Artis come back in for Coon Rapids.
Going to try to get a little bit, certainly with Artis, get a little speed into the lineup.
Well, we saw Coon Rapids running a lot more against Cambridge Isani last Tuesday.
We did.
But definitely a more formidable opponent that has really forced them to slow things down with how aggressive they are on defense.
Yeah, it's taken them out of their game, their original game plan, and give credit to Forest Lake for doing so.
Yeah, few passes that have gone unchallenged here for Coon Rapids when they have the ball. Artis able to get it into Courtney Ackerman. Quickly draws the double team. Getting the steal is Greneweg. And Ackerman comes back and gets the steal right back. Tiptoes on the line and gets it to Hagstrom. It was good control by Courtney, really.
Yeah, it really was.
Good hustle to come back and get the steal, and then just good control to stay on her toes, not travel, and get the ball over to Hagstrom. Now here's Caitlin Ackerman. Timeout, Cardinals.
45-23 in favor of Forest Lake here with 12:14 remaining in the second half. Cardinals trying to find a way back in. Of course, head coach Jen Wagner of Forest Lake has to be happy and pleased with what her squad has done so far here this evening.
They have looked good.
They have. Check out Twitter. Make sure you follow us. Find out all the events going on in the Coon Rapids communities. Certainly in the newsworthy events, sports as well, of course.
Coon Rapids with the ball, trailing 22 points. Hagstrom into the middle for Ackerman. Ackerman kicks it out to Courtney Ackerman. Her shot won't go. The rebound by Hanneman. She's fouled. She will not go to the line. They're going to say she was tied up before the shot attempt. Abigail Greneweg picking up the foul, her second.
Thought she was going to go to the line. She did anyway.
Artis needs to get it in. Goes up top to Courtney Ackerman. Greneweg there to challenge. Puts it on the floor, now backs up. Looking for room left side. Poked away out of bounds by Van Bergen.
Now quick hands poking that basketball away.
Oh, she did pick up the foul.
Oh, she did,
though.
yeah. That's her second. Looked like she had the ball. Looks like she poked the ball away cleanly. But officials didn't see it that way. What do we know?
Fourth foul already against Forest Lake. Caitlin Ackerman looking for room in the lane. Lost the handle as she went up a little bit. Knocked out of bounds by Forest Lake. Cardinals will keep it. Greneweg got a hand in on that pass. Tracked down by Hanneman at the midcourt line. Looking for room in the lane. Shot won't go. Got her own rebound. The follow is good.
Oh, nice job staying with that. Kind of threw that first shot up, but stayed there. Got the rebound, put the basket in for the 2 points. 45-25, Forest Lake.
Holtman. Pass tipped away out of bounds by Frazier. Greneweg putting it on the floor. She'll take the 15-footer. Hanneman got a piece of it. Greneweg got it back. Her shot is short. Caitlin Ackerman the rebound. Up court to Frazier on a bit of a breakaway. That shot won't fall. And Van Bergen got the rebound and then was fouled.
Yeah, Hagstrom. Foul on Hagstrom. The third team foul. I believe that's her second. Yep, her second foul.
Carver and Destiny Artis back in for Coon Rapids. Moscatelli back in for Forest Lake. She has the ball high on the left side. Hands it off for Stumney. And here's Asperheim. Stumney able to keep control. Into the corner. Leach will take the three. That's short. Artis battles for it, ties it up along with Bartlett.
Yeah, good hustle by Destiny Artis.
Inbound goes to Leach. Up top, Bartlett. Stumney into the corner for Asperheim. She'll put it on the floor, take it to the lane, draw the foul. And Lexi West grabbing her ankle. I think she got stepped on.
Yeah, I think she did.
Rolled her ankle a little bit. Well, she grabbing the knee.
Oh.
But she's definitely in some pain.
Trainer coming out, take a look at her. Yeah, she's definitely. Yeah, she's right. She is grabbing her knee.
I don't know if she went down and hit the floor or if it was knee to knee. Oh,
that's not good.
Already wearing a brace on the other knee, and that one it's not meant to bend that way.
No, it's not meant to bend that way at all.
Oh goodness, hopefully
she's okay.
It's okay. That did not look okay though.
No.
We're going to step away, take a little break while they attend to her, and we'll be back to Forest Lake after this.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Lexi West able to put a little pressure on that leg as she's helped back to the sidelines, and hopefully it is not going to be as bad as it looked. It looks like she's stretching it out, and it definitely bent sideways though, and I think I'd be on the way to the ER. She's just walking it off. So and
what did you say? Rub a little dirt on it?
Yeah, hopefully. That's what I tell the kids.
I know you do.
So I said I would do. But, hopefully it is not as bad as it looked, because when you saw that replay and how much flex it had to the side, it definitely did not look good. But the fact that she can get up, put some pressure on it, and then she's trying to walk it off is definitely good news for Lexi West and the rest of the Cardinals. Meanwhile, Destiny Artis stepping up in the right place, forcing a travel by Asperheim, and the Cardinals get the ball on the turnover. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this second half. It's a 20-point deficit. Pass kind of tipped. It got through, though, to Carver. She couldn't handle it. Lost it out of bounds and turned back over to the Rangers.
Yeah, nice thought. Look to the inside, but Carver, as you mentioned, just couldn't find the handle on it. Lost control.
Leach right side for Moscatelli. Leaves it off for Asperheim up top. Lost the handle a little bit, but able to recover. Now battle for the ball. Artis in to tie it up, and that'll get the ball back for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I just love the hustle from Destiny Artis. She does such a nice job when she gets her minutes.
And she is leading the Cardinals with 8 points. A little disrupted shot for Caitlin Ackerman. Kennedy Kerr battles to get the ball back and draws the foul on Bartlett, and that's going to be her 4th. And they're going to leave her on the floor with 4 fouls. At least for the time being.
Somebody's coming over to the scorer's table, so I'm sure she'll, next opportunity, head to the bench. And she will go to the bench with her 4 personals.
Cardinals, meanwhile, turn it over again, and Holtman on the floor. Ahead for Moscatelli. She'll jump And miss. Great rebound and follow by Stumney.
Stumney did a really nice job of following that shot and able to contort her body a little bit and able to get that bucket. 22-point lead for the Rangers.
Carver in the post, kicks it back out to Caitlin Ackerman. She finds some room inside. Her shot won't fall. And the rebound controlled by Holtberg. Holtman slows it down. Left side, Asperheim for three. It's good. And they called the foul.
Kennedy
She'll have a chance to go to the line and convert the three-point play. Lead up to 25, awaiting the free throw.
Courtney Ackerman back in.
Tenth three-pointer of the game for the Rangers. And Asperheim converts on the 4-point play.
Yeah, you can't commit that foul when she's beyond the arc like that.
Yeah, it was, and it was well after the ball had left her hand.
Nice crowd here tonight. And there's
Courtney
travel.
Ackerman slid a little bit. And the travel turns it back over to Forest Lake. Stumney running up court, kicks it back out to Moscatelli, gets it back on the right side. Thought about the shot. Holtman back out. Moscatelli for three. That's short. Rebound kept in bounds. Holtman off the glass and in.
Just good hustle to go after that basketball and the wherewithal to put it back up and in. 53-25, Forest Lake. 7.5 minutes remaining.
Pass taken away by Stumney. She'll pull up for the jumper at the other end. Can't get the roll. Carver the rebound. And we'll get it ahead for Kennedy Kerr. Kerr had her pocket picked by Holtman. And the Rangers have the ball right back. Holtman, a little pick and screen with Stumney. Her shot partially blocked. Carver had it, got it to Courtney Ackerman. And Ackerman will bring it up court. Ackerman's pass off of Holtman and out of bounds.
Artist back in for the Cardinals.
Kerr to inbound, and again you see that good pressure by Forest Lake, making it difficult to do the easiest thing.
Well, they started at the beginning of the game and not let up with that pressure, and Cardinals have not really been able to figure it out.
Underneath finds Carver for the open look inside. And the Cardinals have just not been able to do that enough.
No.
Take advantage of their size and get those easy looks. Little fadeaway jumpers, good for Greneweg at the other end.
Well, you know, the thing that impresses me about Forest Lake is got a number of different players that have nice little jump shots.
Caitlin Ackerman's shot at the other end won't fall. The rebound out of bounds off of Abby Leach, and Coon Rapids get the ball back. Yeah, they have 10 three-pointers by 3 or 4 different girls.
Protect the nest.
Moscatelli, Stumney, Asperheim, Leach. 4 different girls with three-pointers. Stumney and Moscatelli each have 3. Hanneman going to the free throw line here. Free throw is good for Hanneman. She'll try and hit the second. And she does. Still a 26-point lead for Forest Lake. Quickly down court, open look, and the basket good for Miranda Overland.
Yeah, I mean, and again, just working the ball down the floor really well, and then finding that open player at the spot-up jump shot, and again, it's a number of different players that are able to convert here tonight for Forest Lake.
Inside to Hanneman, she gets the bucket plus the foul.
A good job by the Cardinals working that ball around the perimeter and getting it underneath to Hanneman, and he's going to get an opportunity for a three-point play here.
On a good post-up move by their young post player. Hanneman just a sophomore. Cannot convert. Under 5.5 to play here. A big lead for Forest Lake. Caitlin Ackerman, good defense, forces the turnover, and at the other end, she'll drop it home.
Yeah, she's just pressuring continuously. Was Caitlin Ackerman, and gets the turnover and rewarded with the bucket.
Hanneman going to be called for the foul this time. That's her first, team sixth. Rice high on the left side, working against Artis. Gets it to Lindsey Johnson, and she's fouled. And that's going to be another one against Hanneman. And that'll
be her second.
Be number 7, and put Johnson at the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
That's one thing Coon Rapids can't afford is to put the Rangers to the line, try and add to this lead. But as you mentioned, under 5 minutes remaining.
And Johnson converts, 59-33 the lead. Wanted to try and lob that over the top and get Carver underneath. Just a little too much on it.
Good thought, but you're right, just too much on that pass.
I mean, if Carver was 7'2" instead of 6'2", that would work.
Maybe, yeah, that would work.
Van Bergen into the front court, working against Caitlin Ackerman. Right side, the three-pointer is good for Overland.
Boy, they've just been so hot from beyond the arc. It's impressive.
It's their 5th player to drop one from behind the line. Porish into the post, turning and scoring is Carver.
Yeah, and that's what they want to do. That's the kind of offense they want to run. It's just work those big players underneath, and a nice assist from Porish to Carver, but not been the game plan here because of the defense.
Nice drive on the right side of the lane by Lindsey Johnson for the basket. Yeah, they needed to get that going early.
Early, correct.
And they were not able to do that due to the tough defense. Carver, a three-pointer that misses. Van Bergen the rebound. Leach, little jump shot is good from the baseline.
Yeah, their shooting percentage tonight certainly high for Forest Lake.
Pushes the lead to 31. Highest of the game for Forest Lake. Destiny Artis runs into some trouble, gets it back out, and gets it right back from Carver. Drives, and a little too much on that. Rebound controlled by Van Bergen, troubled by Artis. She picked up the dribble, needs some help. And Artis able to get a hand on it and knock it away out of bounds. Timeout by Forest Lake, just under 3 minutes left.
3 minutes and a big lead for the Rangers. Yeah, they started this game off well, and they haven't looked back. They've continued to increase this lead and play really well on both ends of the court. Well, Joe, you always play well on both ends of the court. We're going to have a big sports night show on Monday. We'll preview some winter sports. Make sure you catch us live at 7:30.
He takes dancing lessons from Brandon Rickard.
Oh, yeah. Rickard School of Dance.
And the
yeah. The Napoleon Dynamite.
They've all watched Brandon Rickard dance before.
Well, who hasn't? I mean, you can see all his instructional videos on YouTube.
Well, they got it. That group obviously got their fashion sense from Brandon Rickard as well. Forest Lake, the basketball, and a great big lead here late in this game. Rice stops up, hands it off to Heather Suave. And then the pass couldn't be handled by Catherine Taylor on the far side. And Forest Lake getting some other girls some PT with this big lead. Ackerman, an open look from the free throw line, can't get it to fall. Yeah. Rice flies in for the rebound and will carry it up court.
Sorry, Joe, she had a nice look as well.
Taylor ran into some trouble, lost it, but regained by Overland. And now back out to Rice. Overland in the paint, will flip with the left hand, won't fall. Carver able to track down the rebound and gets it to Courtney Ackerman. Ackerman drives, finds room, rolls it right across the rim, but it won't fall. Forest Lake can't control the rebound. It's out of bounds to Coon Rapids.
Forest Lake able to get a number of players in off the bench with this big lead.
Porish for three, it's good. And a travel by Heather, don't call me Rico Suave.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
I had to.
I was going to ask you if she was related to Rico Suave, but you beat me to it.
Wonder if she even knows about Rico Suave. So very long before she was born.
Yes.
But her parents, or at least her father, I would assume, has that same last name. So
yeah.
He's, I'm sure,
Rico Suave.
Heard of Rico Suaves. Hanneman all alone at the back door, able to convert. As we're down under a minute remaining in this contest. Overland left side. And back for Taylor. And a turnover to the Cardinals. Caitlin back out to Courtney. Porish, long three-pointer. That won't fall. Suave the rebound. Pressured by Caitlin Ackerman. Gets it to Overland. Or, I'm sorry, this is Gokin. Gokin draws the double team. Courtney Ackerman got a hand in and knocked it away, but the Rangers recover. And it's Maya Tanberg scoring underneath. Hanneman all alone at the other end will drop it home. And a steal and a basket for Porish just before the bucket. But a big win for Forest Lake.
Yeah, and an impressive win for Forest Lake. They started pressuring early, pretty much at the first whistle, and and they didn't look back from there. And you got to be impressed with the number of players able to drop shots here tonight for the Rangers, and big victory for them.
Yeah, a 24-point victory, 68-44 final. And for Coon Rapids, after the win and a little bit of confidence off of that victory over Cambridge Isani, this kind of gives them an opportunity to see where they need to improve and how good they have to get in order to be competitive come section time.
We talked about the efficiency from Forest Lake and offensively, but you're right though. I mean, they came here against a Ranger team that's very similar to them in terms of wanting to run and wanting to pressure, but Forest Lake did a much better job here of pressuring the basketball and turning
Especially
it over
early on.
Early on, and turning it over and then converting and making those offensive opportunities count.
And once they had the lead, it really, the mindset, Coon Rapids rushing things a little bit maybe and settling for some shots that, or forcing some passes and forcing things when maybe they didn't need to, or maybe they might not they might not force if they are in a little bit closer contest.
Right. No question about it. So you go back and talk about those things that work for you, and then certainly talk about those things that didn't work for you tonight, and you move forward as the season early season, obviously just
Very
game number 2.
Very early. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Here's a look at what we have coming up for you. Wrestling on Friday the 9th. Cardinals at the Huskies of Andover. Boys basketball team against Elk River. Their home opener on Tuesday the 13th. And then on Friday the 16th, we'll see them as well against Spring Lake Park. Of course, we have the second half of our doubleheader. Cardinals taking on the Forest Lake Rangers coming up later here tonight. But again, the final score in the girls contest, it's the Rangers 68, the Cardinals 44. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. The entire crew, including the spooky Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Good night.